Think of history like a hidden treasure chest. Inside, there are all these cool medieval traditions that your school lessons usually forgot to mention. These stories aren't in your history books, but they give you an interesting look at how people lived, loved, and honored in a world that was both familiar and strange. Watch this video till the end, because it's going to surprise you a lot. So let's get started. Number 7. The intriguing Feast of Fools. The Feast of Fools, celebrated around the New Year and ending on January 1st, might seem like a wild party, but it was much more than that. During this event, people, including clergy and regular folks, switched roles and poked fun at the social and religious order. It was like a mirror, reflecting the silliness and the seriousness of daily life and religious beliefs. Likewise, in the same way, number 6, Trial by Ordeal. In medieval Europe, a strange way to find out if someone was guilty or innocent was called the trial by ordeal. People believed that God would intervene to reveal the truth. It involved doing something risky or painful. If you came out of it okay, you were innocent. If not, you were guilty. So there were trials involving fire, where you had to touch hot things, and trials with water, where you had to float. This wasn't just weird, it was a serious part of medieval society, showing their mix of faith, justice, and community. Moving on to another tradition. Number 5. Courtly love and troubadours. Courtly love and troubadours may sound like stuff from fairy tales, but they were important parts of medieval life. They weren't just dreamy ideas. They shook up the social roles of the time and gave a different view of love, gender roles, and who had power. Courtly love started with troubadours, who were poets in southern France. They wrote about knights loving noble ladies, even though they couldn't be together. It was supposed to be pure and make the knight a better person. Turning our attention to another tradition, number 4, Jesters and Fools. Jesters and fools, with their funny costumes and antics, might seem like they were just there to make medieval nobles laugh, but they had a much bigger job. They were like unique social navigators, making people chuckle and sharing their opinions in a clever, funny way. What's cool is that they could say things others couldn't, even things that would usually get them in trouble. They'd poke fun at rulers and their decisions, kind of like the voice of the people. This way, they could give leaders new perspectives and let everyone let off steam. Now, let's delve into another cultural custom. Number 3, wandering minstrels. You've probably heard of wandering minstrels, those musicians who traveled around in medieval times, singing songs and telling stories. But they were more than just entertainers. They were like the news reporters of their day, sharing what was happening in different places and among different people. Their songs weren't just catchy tunes. They were like history books, passing down stories of battles, heroes, love, and everyday life. This was especially important because few people could read or write back then. So these minstrels were like messengers, spreading stories and connecting different parts of society. They weren't just musicians, but storytellers, social commentators, and cultural ambassadors, showing how art, politics, and community all came together in medieval times. Moving forward, let's discuss number 2, mystery plays. Mystery plays weren't your average Bible stories acted out for medieval folks. They were like big community events that brought people together to tell stories, think about them, and even debate their meaning. Imagine these plays happening outdoors in places like market squares or traveling through towns on wagons. They were often organized by guilds, religious groups, or city leaders. What made them special was that everyone got involved. Regular people became biblical characters, making the stories feel real and important. It was like a two-way conversation where complicated religious ideas became exciting human dramas. Now, considering our last tradition, number 1, alchemy in everyday life. When we hear about alchemy, we might think of wizards trying to turn things into gold or make magic potions. But in medieval times, alchemy was part of everyday life, and it wasn't just about mystical stuff. It was like the ancestor of modern chemistry, and alchemists were like the pharmacists, metalworkers, and sometimes even the chefs of their time. They didn't just play with strange substances. They made practical things like medicine and ointments to help people get better. So that's all for today's video. If you like this video, click the like and the bell buttons. We'll have another video for you soon. Take care until then.